You never know where life will take you. It can be hilarious, entertaining, surprising, or even terrifying. Join your hosts, Mike and Courtney, for real-life adventures with Eaton on the Go, Life at the Island podcast.
All right, welcome to the very first Eaton on the Go, Life at the Island podcast. What do you think of that intro?
What was that intro?
Cool,
That's fantastic.
Hey, only the best for you.
Hey. You're a good man.
All right, so here we are, our very first episode of Eaton on the Go, Life at the Island. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see what's going on here. We're not actually on an island. We're at the kitchen island. Well, that's true. We could take the show on the road.
Yeah.
Because we are Eaton on the Go.
We are.
We do like to be on the go.
We do.
And so this show is really we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We're going to talk about trips we've taken, fun times we've had, adventures, because for whatever reason, we always end up having crazy stories and adventures.
We bring them on ourselves, I think.
I think it's you that bring them on, and I'm just along for the ride.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
I do.
We'll tell stories and we'll let the audience decide.
Oh, see, that's what makes me nervous.
You never know what I'm going to tell, do you?
Oh, no. Well, what we thought we'd do is this first show, I thought we would talk a little bit about who we are. I think most of the people probably listening to this first one probably know who we are. But maybe not. Maybe they don't know a whole lot about us. So
some fun facts.
Yeah, I thought we'd talk a little bit about it. We have our vino.
Always.
Yeah, ready to go.
I usually drink the white.
And I'm a red drinker. And, of course, sporting my, for those watching on YouTube, I'm sporting my Santa wine glass.
Yeah, mug.
Not a mug.
Save that for the Kris Kringle market.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so what we do, we are both, this is our both second marriage, right?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Did you forget? I was married. And so along with the thrill, we I have three boys. I shouldn't say we.
I have three bonus kids.
Bonus kids, yes. And they are a lot of fun. The oldest is 15. The middle one is 13. The youngest is 12. And they're all like getting ready to change ages. So I always have to try to keep that in mind. Try to remember their ages.
That's right.
Not that I don't remember your ages, boys, if you're listening.
They call me Coco.
They do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do call you Coco.
Yep, I like that.
Yeah. It is kind of fun. All right, so I'm a police officer. That's what I do for a living.
Or do you want me to say what I do now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
all. You can. You don't have to. I could just make up something.
Ooh, that'd be scary.
It would be.
I work for a local Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Council.
Awesome. And you used to.
Yes, I did. I was the court administrator at a county here locally for about 10 years.
I know, which is, so imagine this. This is actually how we met.
It is.
It's at the courthouse. You were stalking me.
Well, you were pretty hot.
Oh, well, thanks. Oh, gosh. I can see where this is going already.
Or I just happened to walk past him towards the elevator.
That's my story.
Oh, sorry.
Let me imagine it the way
however you want.
Know.
Stalking was it on Facebook.
She was following me around the courthouse. Actually, truth be known, obviously I'm a police officer. She's a court administrator. So I was sitting outside the courtroom waiting to go in and testify. And here comes this pretty young woman.
Fine young thing.
Right across my view. And, she started flirting with me, so I had to flirt back.
Is that what we're going
to
go with?
Is that how you remember it?
Yeah, sure. What's your story?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
And, so she's flirting with me. She's pouring it on pretty heavy. And What?
Okay, it's your story.
Okay, all right. She's pouring it on pretty thick. And anyway, we started talking. Now, here's the thing. And maybe, I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but, being like divorced and back in the game, if you will, that seems kind of cheap. But
we'll have to ask the kids what the term is.
Right. Yeah, because they know all the hip lingo now. But being back in the dating scene.
I don't think hip or lingo are two terms.
Yeah, I don't think those are either.
That's okay.
Yeah, definitely not. But,
sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. That's very true, though.
Yeah.
We're going to get their input. They're going to weigh in on
Yeah.
our terms. But so, here we are. We're sitting there, and, I don't even hardly know what to say. Like, what do you say? What do you talk about? What do you, right? Am I right on that?
No, it's kind of terrifying.
It is.
Yeah.
So, being the two nerds that we are, we started talking about just weird stuff. Like, how did we get on this topic? We started talking about, here we are meeting for the first time. We're sitting in the courthouse, and we're talking about odd numbers and even numbers.
Yeah.
For instance, Courtney tells me, well, I don't like to have my thermostat on anything but like 68
Even
or
numbers.
70.
Same thing with my radio volume in the car.
It can only be on like 10 or
Yeah,
12.
right.
So if 10 is too soft and 12 is too loud, you're going to compromise on either too soft or it's going to be
Exactly.
blaring, right? Because of the even numbers.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is that I actually agreed to that. I'm pretty sure there's a mental illness that goes along with that, but
Weirdness. It's cool.
yeah, we're just
Quirks.
weird.
I don't care. I like
Yeah.
it. Makes sense to me.
So actually, right now, if you go over to our thermostat, you'll see that it's probably on 68.
Yep, 68
It
or
will not
70.
be on like 67 or
69.
65 or that. Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of how our
Not the thermostat anyway.
exactly. That's brother. This is how our
He told me just to be myself. So
yeah,
you're all in for a treat.
Yeah. That's I don't know what else to say.
Well,
but
because
that
I
is
was a
very
little
true.
nervous.
You are,
but he's right in his
But I got you
element.
a glass of wine.
Well, I know you did. Cheers.
Okay, cheers to our first show. This is
right.
our cheers of the day. We're going
Yeah.
to do this every show. We're going to have a cheers of the day, and
Yeah.
we're going to have guests.
Yeah.
But back to our story. So we met at the courthouse. We decided to go on this date, but it took a little bit. We started talking on Facebook Messenger
Yes, we did.
because we didn't even have each other's phone numbers.
No.
Like we got so nervous talking about a thermostat that we
We did. We had a Facebook relationship for
Yeah.
the first couple weeks.
yeah, we did. And so the interesting thing is we started talking about like wine, how we both like to drink wine.
Right.
And totally innocent, for real innocent. Like, what else do you do? Again, I'm this guy that I don't really know how this works and what the hip thing to do is when you're dating. So I took a picture of my wine rack that had wine bottles in it, and I'm like, hey, check out my rack. It's pretty.
I know,
it's
right?
full.
You would think I'd be sending him that picture.
Exactly, but no, it was it was straight up.
It was cool.
You
had a nice
so
rack.
then we started talking about wine. We went on our first date, and
The rest is history.
the rest is history. So
Eating on the go.
eating on the go, yeah. Was that version pretty close to what you?
Yeah, somewhat. Especially all the flirting I was doing.
Yeah, well,
It's accurate.
but I will tell you this: you're definitely the strange one in the relationship.
Oh, you think so?
I do, yeah, because, well, I'll give you an example. When we first started dating, you were renting a house with another girl. Mm-hmm. You remember that? So
Beau
you
8.
called it Beau 8.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you called it Beau 8.
I'll tell you why.
Okay, tell me.
The address was 1308, and the 1 and the 3 kind of made a B, and then the 0 was the O, and then 8.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
And the house was a bit Bojankety.
It was definitely Bojankety.
So that definitely goes along with the name. Well, anyway, so
It was a great house. Good times.
it was actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like a, shack or anything. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
But they invited me over because one night they decided to go buy an inflatable pool.
It wasn't just like a small pool. It was like a 3-foot deep pool.
Yeah, and it took up your entire living room. It was the craziest. And I thought you were joking, but they put this in there, and the whole time I'm going over there thinking, surely they're not going to fill this thing with water.
Not water.
Because it could cause your whole thing to collapse. Like water is,
Heavy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I get there, and it's full of blankets and pillows, and it was movie night, and so we just all laid in the swimming pool and watched a movie.
Right.
I can't say I've ever done that before.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was definitely
Experiences.
It was that. But probably my all-time favorite experience of Beau 8 was the time that you and Mel invited me over to hang out with you. And I thought, we're probably going to cook or, just hang out or whatever, watch a movie. Or
Have some wine.
And no, apparently the two of them loved to play rock band.
Oh, yeah. I was the master drummer.
I noticed.
Yep. Mel was great at guitar. We had our thing.
You did. And you then wanted me to sit on the couch.
Right.
Where I proceeded to sit for the next several hours.
It was hours.
And watch you and Mel play Rock Band. You played your drums, and she's just over there jamming out on her.
He did have a purpose. He was our wine fetcher.
I was. And the funny thing is, the more wine I gave you, the longer this charade went on. It never ended. I don't even know how you stopped. I think you played the same songs over and over.
Might have.
But you were pretty good.
It was fun.
What's your hobbies?
What's my hobbies?
Yeah. What do you like to do?
Running.
Okay. Something I don't do.
No, he watches.
Unless I'm going after a perp.
That's right. Then he's running like crazy.
Like a cheetah.
We'll be down in Key West in January running a half marathon. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that.
With our friends Tim and Renee.
Yep, and Nate and Carla.
Yep. Which, so Carla runs,
Renee runs.
And
the
then
guys,
there's us guys that...
don't?
No. No. We don't.
I foresee that they will most definitely be with their Sharpies and poster board, though, making signs for us.
It's highly unlikely.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
You'll find the nearest cigar bar.
Yeah.
Won't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Accurate.
Let's be real here.
Yeah.
That's what this show's about.
Mm-hmm. Cooking. I enjoy cooking.
Cooking.
With you especially.
Yeah.
Making
we do
new
tear
meals.
it up.
I do like Rachel Ray.
She's
my bedtime show.
Yeah, and we actually just made a something.
Meal?
Yeah.
Chicken?
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I was trying to figure out the name of it, but...
Oh. Chicken?
It was chicken.
Oh, you want to know what it was called.
Yeah, do you remember?
I think it was like chicken change up, devil chicken or something, because it had a spicy sauce that went on top of it with wine and some chili paste.
Yeah, it was delicious. But it seriously, straight up, was the messiest. I mean, we were cleaning the kitchen for 3 weeks afterwards.
It felt like it.
Or just 3 hours. But it was, there was a lot. It was messy.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
So, I must say, even though, well...
What are your hobbies?
Well, I don't really have a whole lot of hobbies, but I do like to...
He's lying. You should see our whiskey cabinet.
Okay, well, I do like whiskey, and I do like to collect a lot of whiskeys.
Yeah, how many bottles are in our cabinet? 54?
No, it was 70.
Oh, you
last
liar.
time I checked. No, I just checked. I just counted.
Did we just buy 16 more bottles, perhaps?
No, you didn't see the ones underneath.
Oh, I missed those.
You missed those.
Those aren't on display yet.
Yeah, and I do like to smoke cigars. So basically, Courtney here does healthy things. I do probably not so healthy things, but they're very enjoyable. I like to smoke a cigar occasionally.
Yeah.
With good friends and hang out. I don't get to do that very much in the winter because I don't stand outside in the Arctic conditions and smoke a cigar.
Right.
But
yeah, you guys get to spend a lot of our own time together because Mike works second shift, so we rarely see each other.
That's right.
This is why we're...
So it's good to see you today.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. So I must say, since we're talking about a little bit about us on this first podcast, so you can get to know our crazy lives, I proposed to Courtney at the courthouse that she works.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so...
Surprising.
I got the presiding judge involved, and he decided to go along with it. So we used his courtroom, and we basically put Courtney on trial for stealing my heart.
I did. I was charged with theft.
That's kind of cheesy, though.
Well,
did you think it was cheesy at the time?
Well, the whole thing was cheesy. It was fantastic.
But girls like that kind of stuff, right? Is that your thing?
Cheese? I love cheese. It's so good.
But not that kind of cheese.
Especially blue cheese and Merlot cheese.
No, I don't mean that kind of cheese. I mean,
Oh, yeah, it was cool.
Okay.
I felt special. Got a good story.
Yeah, so here she comes. She comes walking in the courtroom, has no idea what's going on because usually she knows everything about what's going on in the courthouse. And she comes in, and lo and behold, the courtroom is absolutely full of people. I'm sitting at the defense table.
We
basically.
should probably put some pictures up on our
We should.
website.
We'll put those up on Instagram and Facebook, and
if they're interested.
if they're, I mean, you may not be, but it's kind of cool.
It is cool.
And she walks in, and in the jury box is her mom and my parents and our family and close friends and things like that. So did you know what was going on? I mean, you had to know.
Yeah,
when
I
you walked
think
in.
I've kind of figured out something special was happening.
Well, definitely something was happening.
Yes, something
You
was
just didn't know what
happening,
it
and
was.
I was the star of the show.
You were the star of the show. So
Just like this one.
you are the star, yes. You're definitely prettier.
Well, I have more hair.
Well, that's true. So I proposed to Courtney, and of course we went through this big thing of pictures and video, and your mom even got up and said that you were the jury. You know, they did their thing and decided that you were guilty,
Yeah,
and you were sentenced to a life
I was
of
sentenced.
happiness with yours truly.
that's right.
So-
My mom loves our story of how we met because I pursued him.
Yes, and she does say that.
Yes, she
Maybe
does.
we'll have to get
We'll get Nanny on here.
Nanny on the show. That's what we call her,
That's what the boys call her,
Nanny.
Nanny.
I don't think I have any other hobbies, though, on that.
No,
Going back to...
mowing the grass.
Yeah, it's not a hobby.
Oh,
So I will tell you, we also have 2 dogs.
we do.
One's name is Killarney. You can't see him, but he's laying on the floor, thankfully, being good. And
Yeah,
then
be
we have
careful.
one named Joni, and they both came from the local
Animal
animal
shelter.
shelter.
Taps.
Yes,
Get your dogs from animal shelters.
and they're relatively good dogs.
For the most part.
Killarney has 2 issues. Besides his extremely bad breath, he
Has a broken liquor.
He has a broken liquor. He licks everything all the time, nonstop, and he can't help it. I think he just doesn't understand he does it.
Yeah, I think it's a mental thing.
Yeah, but
His name's Killarney because
oh yeah, that's a good idea. Tell him why.
So Killarney was part of the package when Mike met me.
Mm-hmm.
So his name was Killarney is Killarney because
Still
of
is. He's
us-
alive.
Yeah, he's alive.
Thankfully,
He's probably 13, but it's Ireland. One of my favorite places in Ireland is Killarney Park. It's beautiful.
yeah, and we had some friends, the Butlers.
Yeah.
bring us back a super cool picture from Killarney, Ireland, and it was they put it on a mat or what do you call
Canvas.
it? Canvas, yeah. And it's in our living room, and it's in Killarney, Ireland, and there's a place called Mike's Takeaway, and directly right next door to it is Courtney's
Bar. Yep. See, meant to be.
Yeah, appropriate.
Even Ireland thinks so.
Yeah, that is a cool. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it was
pretty cool.
cool, yeah.
The only thing better is if Killarney would have been in the picture.
Right.
So, but his tongue would have been out. It would have been kind of weird. So.
Yeah. And then there's poor Joni. She has no hair on her back.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother her.
No.
She's not conscious about that, self-conscious about
She's
that.
she's like me.
Yeah, she is.
You know, you just own it sometimes.
You just
have
own
to
your
it.
baldness.
Yeah.
You have,
but
you
I
have
will
a nice
tell you,
bald head, though.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
I will tell you this for those listening. The first time, when I met Courtney, she went out of town with her girlfriend, and she says, "Can you watch Killarney for me?" And I said, "Well, yeah. I mean, I'd love to. I love dogs, and I think this would be a good idea."
Joni right here.
Yeah. So we did that, and we started walking down the street, and lo and behold, this large dog came running at Killarney and just about ate him. I protected him, though.
I know. You
Scooped
saved his
him
life.
up and saved his life, yeah. So, I mean, I could not imagine
And now he
just
likes
getting...
you more than me.
That could be true.
He also likes you more than me because when I first got him, he liked to eat things. Like he was about 2 years old. And for some reason, he liked to eat things. Now, he's not going to eat your rug, but he'd flip the rug up and eat the runner thing that was underneath it that kept
the
it
rubber
from,
thing.
from sliding.
Yeah.
He wouldn't eat your shoes, but he'd eat your shoelaces.
That's rude.
So, I mean, he was minorly destructive. So when I would
'cause you
leave,
can't wear shoes without shoelaces.
and some of them, that's true. When I would leave, he would kennel up. And he was always really good about it, except for when I came back from Mexico. There was no longer Killarney in the kennel. Mike's like, he's just fine. So.
Hey, we broke him of that.
Yeah, you did a good job. I think you saved his life, and he thought, I better stop eating their shit.
Yeah, I think so. We've had some good times. Our marriage in the last few years has been a lot of fun. I mean, it's been fun to navigate through life, and of course, having kids that we brought into the picture, they adapted really well with you, and just
it's been good.
Yeah,
challenging at times, but
sure. I think every family is, but it's been a good time.
It has been a good time.
We wanted to do this show and just talk about life, talk about the fun parts of life. We want to keep a positive show, talk about some of the fun things of life. We want to have guests on, talk about fun experiences, some that are with us during some of those times. But so that's kind of what this is about. Next week's show, we'll talk about some different things, and then we'll start inviting some guests on the show.
Yeah. We love Christmas. That's one of our things too.
Yeah, and here it is. We're in the middle of this, or we're starting December now, and this is an exciting time of the year.
It is.
So why not start a podcast?
Our wine in a Santa glass.
Oh yeah.
Did you know? Fun fact. Did you know that about 700 grapes go into one bottle of wine?
I did not know that. 700 grapes?
700 grapes.
I used to steal grapes as a kid.
Steal them from where?
Yeah, the grocery store. You went up and
popped
just
them in your mouth?
Yeah. Until my mom was like, oh my gosh, you could go to jail, and all, she's scared the
bejesus out of you.
Yeah, so I stopped doing that.
Oh, well, you did
I
it
became
now.
a cop.
There you go.
Now I arrest people that steal grapes.
I bet you don't.
No, I don't. So yeah, we built a house together.
We did. That was so much fun.
That was exciting.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're still married. A lot of people say, "Oh my gosh, you build a house with somebody, and that really is trying on your relationship." Yeah, not us.
No, it didn't seem to try us at all.
No. Strange.
Yeah.
But we're easygoing. We're easygoing people.
Yeah, most of the time.
So, Eating on the Go is the name of this podcast. Life at the Island. Here we are at the island, and I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see what happens. We're not nervous. Are you nervous?
I was a little bit, but I'm not now.
Yeah, I'm not either. But sometimes it's just getting in the groove and trying to figure it all out, right?
It is. But you used to be on the radio, so
I did. I did that for a while. So every week we want to do. We're going to release these on Sundays, and so we want to do a pod quote and a cheers of the week, which we did that cheers already.
And I did our pod quote. No, I didn't. I did a fun fact.
You did a fun.
I'll be doing those too.
Yeah, that's very good.
So, did you want to hear my quote?
Yeah, let's hear what it is. I haven't even heard what it is yet.
No, I'm going to surprise you with all of these.
I will
the
be
first
surprised.
time you will hear my fun facts
Very
and
good.
quotes will be on the show.
Okay, let's hear it.
Along
Bring it
with
out.
the audience. So this is a quote by Dr. Seuss. I think it sums you and I up quite well.
Okay.
We're all a little weird, and life's a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall in mutual weirdness and call it love.
I like that.
Seems appropriate,
That is
right?
appropriate for us. Yeah,
Thanks,
very
Dr.
good.
Seuss.
I like it. All right. Well, we're out of time for our first episode, but it's been kind of fun to do this with you. And
Yeah, it has.
we'll be back next Sunday for our next podcast. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, like us there, Instagram, and of course you can watch these podcasts on YouTube. It's all Eaten on the Go, EETEN on the go.
All ease.
All right. Until next week, take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace out.
All right.